This week, we've been talking about how to move things more easily with our Starfall theme of Let's Move It. So, at Circle Time, we read a lot about different types of trucks and construction vehicles that make doing work a lot easier with the use of machines. So, we are going to make some simple shape machines. And I'm focusing on trucks during this art project. I've made some examples that I'll show you, and then we're going to make one together. So here, I just used some colored paper and cut out simple shapes. I didn't trace or anything, I just freehand cut. You can feel free to trace, you can feel free to cut it out for your child, or you could have your child work on their cutting skills by having them help with child safety scissors. So this one, I've made an 18-wheeler. Something that we see on the highways a lot, delivering products to stores and packages to where they need to go. So I have the cab of the truck and then the back of the truck where all our packages are held. On this one, I made a truck with a trailer. So the cab of the truck is bigger than the trailer, and the trailer is holding just some simple pink squares that I made. And you could pretend that they were anything you can imagine. On this one, I made a dump truck. So I made it so that the dump truck was dumping out the different rocks. Okay? So now we're going to work together, and we are going to make an excavator. So if you remember from Circle Time, our excavator is a machine that we use in construction, and it has a long arm with a scoop, and it digs the dirt and rocks just like this. So I'm going to take my scissors, and I have my glue stick ready. And I am going to cut out the cab of the excavator. So the cab is where the person who operates the machine sits. So I just made a simple rectangle, and I'm going to glue it on with my glue stick. Now, I need to work on making the arms of the excavator. So I'm going to take my pink, and I'm just going to cut two skinny, long rectangles. They don't have to be perfect. Mine definitely are not. Again, this is something that you could have your child work on their scissor skills since they're doing long, straight lines. Or you can pre-cut them for them and just help them put them on. So, put my glue on my paper and add my arms. All right. So there's my arms on the paper, and the last thing our excavator will need is the scoop, so the actual shovel that is used to dig in the dirt. So I'm going to use some blue paper, and I'm just going to cut out a small square and add that to our paper. Okay, and the last thing our excavator needs is some wheels. So I'm going to take my marker, and I'm just going to add some wheels onto our excavator. And there you have it, a simple shape excavator that you can try and build yourself at home. So today we are going to make a sensory bin to go along with all of the cool construction vehicles that we've been talking about, like our excavator. So for this, you are going to need a container to hold your sensory stuff in. You will also need some flour, cornmeal, oil, I'm going to use vegetable oil, and some corn syrup. So here is what you'll be mixing together. I'm going to make a bigger batch than what's on here just because I have a bigger container. So I'm going to add a cup of flour. And just remember, it's okay to make a mess. Just do it in a place that you're able to clean up. A cup of cornmeal. I think I'm going to have to pour this one in. There we go. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of oil. 1, 2. And 2 tablespoons of corn syrup. Let's see. 1, too. So what I really like about this recipe for this, moon sand or kinetic sand type of material is that everything in it is edible. Oftentimes moon sand for at-home DIY recipes will call for using baby oil or other things, coconut oil, which isn't always safe if your child has a nut allergy. So that's what I really like about this recipe, is that everything is safe if your child puts it in their mouth by accident, or if your child is still exploring things with their mouth, totally safe. It's all made from ingredients that you'll find in your kitchen. So I've mixed it together a little bit with my spoon, but I have to get in here with my hands. And your kids will love being able to mix this all together. It's very soft, but at the same time, moldable. Okay, so then you can also add in some rocks from outside if you like. Add in your construction toys too, if your child doesn't want to just play with it for what it is. It's pretty cool just by itself. But you can bring in your dump truck, and you can bring in your excavator, and you can have your excavator dig up this kinetic moon sand and put it in the dump truck, and then have the dump truck dump it out. Things like that. You can use your bulldozer to push it across, anything you can think of. But overall, it's a really cool consistency and a really cool texture. Be sure you wash your hands before and after using your DIY kinetic sand, and it will keep for a little bit if you put it in an airtight container and keep it in a cool place. It should stay for at least a week, I would say it would be safe to use, if not longer. You'll just have to check and make sure what it looks like and that nothing is happening in the box that shouldn't be. Alright, so we'd love to hear about how you're using these sensory materials at home, so please feel free to let your teacher know how you're using them, or if you want to get into them some more. We'll be happy to answer any of your questions and give you some more tips on sensory activities for home.